Hello everybody, it's Sherry. Welcome to the Rustic South. Hey, today we're going to make two pretty simple crafts. The first one, we're going to be using these kickballs from Dollar Tree and some paint, some cinnamon. And I do have to apologize up front. The end of the video on this one did not get recorded. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these balls. You've seen them, I think, at Dollar Tree. You can probably get them at Walmart, any of those kind of stores, right? And we're going to paint them. We're going to make some rustic apples today with them, okay? So first you're going to take them. You're going to rub. I rub them in this order. You don't have to do this order. I did black. Saturate them in black the best you can, and of course use gloves because you're going to get it all over your hands if you don't. And then once you let the black dry, I would go ahead and do the brown at that point. Do the brown the same way you're doing the black, okay? Saturate them. And then while the brown is still wet, take your cinnamon and sprinkle the cinnamon on them. Roll them around in there. But I would not, now at some point you're going to see me rub the cinnamon, but at some point don't do that, right? After you think you've got all the color of those balls, you know, hidden, you're going to take and you're going to sprinkle them with more cinnamon so that they, you know, it just adds to the texture and the rusticness of them. So make sure that you sprinkle them with cinnamon on at the end. Make sure that it's dry cinnamon, okay? You want to see some of that dried cinnamon on there, okay? So, and then let them dry. And then you're going to take some red. I take rustic red, which I don't think the video shows the red. I take the rustic red from Dollar Tree. I think it's called Oxide or something like that. Oxide Rust or Oxide Red. And I take that and I use that and I do the same thing that you're seeing right now on the screen with red. Red is the last color that I add just because I want to add a little rustic color to them, right? So that they resemble apples, but they're not necessarily all red, okay? At least this is the way I'm doing it. If you don't want it rustic, if you don't want it, you know, primitive looking, then I wouldn't do all of this dark colors, right? But I also wouldn't use these for just red. I mean, just red might work, but I doubt it. So yeah, so I'm painting, I'm squirting all the paint into my hand and I'm rubbing all the balls until they're all coated and then let them dry individually in between coats. And then sprinkle the cinnamon on very last when the red is still wet. Sprinkle more cinnamon where it's going to dry on there and look like dried rust or rusty, right? Or grungy, I guess. Okay, you're going to see a picture here, and I do apologize that I did not get that video part in there. But then you're going to take your scissors and clip a little snip in the top. Take a stick either from outside or one that you've made, and you're going to take that stick, put a little glue on the end. Now the snips, here's where I'm shaking the cinnamon all over them. So this is the way you want to leave them to dry, okay, whenever you're doing this. Shake the cinnamon all over them and leave them to dry. And let's let them dry. It will take about a day for them to dry. There is a lot of paint on there. You're going to make a little snip in the top. Take your sticks that you've cut. And you're going to put some glue on them, stick them in. And then at the same time, take a little more glue and wrap your jute around the stem. And then once that's dry, which won't take very long, right? Take your rustic oxide, or you know, some antiquing wax or something, and rub around on the top to grunge up the jute and the sticks. Okay, and there they are. They look so cute sitting on my counter in a bowl. I hope that makes sense. That was a little hard to explain at times. Here's project number 2. This one's super easy. So this is from Dollar Tree last year, this little snowman. You guys might remember seeing them And they might be coming out soon too, because they're going to start putting Christmas stuff out here shortly if they're not already. So I just rip off the stuff that's not necessary, the nose and the little greenery and the bow and so forth. And you're going to take your coffee stained tea towels and cut strips. I would say about 7 or 8. Okay. And the first one I cut it kind of wide, but you don't have to cut them too wide, but you do want to cut them enough that you're going to cover it well, right? And I wouldn't really worry about painting this red and black, because you're going to wrap it enough that it doesn't really come through. The color doesn't come through the tea towel. So just wrap your coffee stained tea towel around it and glue it in spots so that you know it's going to stay where you want it. At this point, I decided that I wanted to grunge up the face a little bit so that it wasn't so white. It's a little too white next to that coffee stained tea towel, so I decided to grunge up the face at this point before I get it wrapped. Again, I do have an LED light over my table, so it's kind of hard to sometimes see the grunging that I'm doing. Okay. So yes, I'll put the glue where you definitely want the tea towel, and I'm going to where you want the tea towel to be, and I'm going to be hanging this little guy. I want to make more of them. I only had one that was handy. The rest of them are probably packed away. But I'm going to put these on. I have Christmas trees. No, I have trees, not Christmas trees. I have trees that sit out in my house all year long, and I periodically change the decorations depending on my mood. And so I wanted to make a few more of these to put on one of my trees just for the fall season, because I think it turned out cute. It's just something super easy and simple. And no, this is not an original. I'm sure somebody's done this somewhere on YouTube at some point. So, yeah, so just keep wrapping until you have him the way you want him. And the coffee grunge recipe you can find on my community tab, and I'm sure there's a million other coffee staining recipes out there, so I'm sure you can find one if you don't have one already. Now at the end, I do take some creepy cloth and wrap it around his head. Now what you could do, instead of creepy cloth, you could use like homespun, just to, you know, add a little different dimension to the top, right? Or nothing. You can just leave it blank. And I did add a rusty star at the top and a little hang tag that said "Mummy" on it. Yeah, so today's crafts are very fast and simple. So yeah, so cut off that hanger, because I had a jute one, because you don't want red on the top of that. So I hope you're enjoying the video. This is a very quick video for me. I usually don't do too quick of videos, but anyway, I thought these were just kind of cute little things to sit around since the fall season is coming. And it's my favorite time of year. So hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm sure if you have kiddos, they've probably started school. Although I think some places aren't started until September. I don't know. My kids already started. My kids started like August the 10th. But anyway, hopefully you're getting some time to yourself. You're able to get into your craft room. And I hope you're enjoying the videos. Hopefully you can find these snowmen. They'll be coming out soon, I'm sure, because every year they keep bringing stuff out earlier and earlier for our amusement. So here's the creepy cloth. I'm just cutting a small portion off, and Yeah, and this, I've had this for years. Well, for at least a couple of years. I haven't bought any creepy cloth in quite some time. But I mostly have black. I don't have too much of the cream colored one. And you could, again, you could take homespun or anything else and wrap it around the top if you wanted. So yeah, so I hope you're enjoying the video. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome. We do a lot of rustic crafts and primitive type things on the channel. One thing I don't usually do is I don't usually do makeovers of things from thrift stores. I just don't find them to be of good value anymore. They've gotten, in my opinion, they've gotten just as bad as the other stores. Their inflation, I guess you could call it. So anyway, I usually do makeovers of stuff from Walmart or Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby or something. So if you like what you see, please give me a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And it certainly helps out my channel, and I hope you've enjoyed this video today. In a second, I'll be showing you a picture of what it looks like on my tree. I do need to make more of them. I would make like 6 or 8 if you're going to put them on a tree, a small tree. I think my tree is either a 2 foot or a 3 foot, probably 2 foot. So you have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. And there it is. Little rustic star, a little hang tag. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.